Like, share this video, comment, and subscribe to the PLM News Network channel. Our sole responsibilities and purposes are to educate and stand on truth and facts. PLM News Network thanks each of you for your unwavering loyalty and support. Our struggle continues.
You know, so uh no, the thing is, we just have to keep moving, bruh. And that's what we here to do. We here to teach. We here to give the information. And I want to, now that we went through the downsides of everything that we went through, everybody gave their opinions on what we went through. Now it's time for us to say, okay, we know the problem. We seen from the beginning. We seen the apex where we was on top of our thing. Then we seen where we started sliding. So now we have to go, okay, now how do we get the trajectory going back up in a positive and productive manner? What are the solutions? How do we get back? And always remember, education is our number one ally. That's our number one ally. And what we are doing, we are educating right now. This is what we're doing. We're educating. So people can understand, like, okay, they ain't gonna get it the first time. We're gonna probably have some people when this come out, we're gonna have some people that's gonna defend what they've been standing on. Understood. Aware of that. But it's our job to continue to teach, man, to continue to guide. That's what we're here to do, to continue.
Let me say this, Blake.
Yep.
I'm gonna say this to you, Blake. Don't think that just because where you was at or what they was teaching. I'm gonna tell you something. It was dudes right here from Chicago, man, that had fake literature, man. They was reading, have been reading it for years, 2-3 years, man. They showed me the papers that they was reading and what they was reading about. So it wasn't just down there that the misinformation was being spread by somebody. It was right here, right where the new concept was originated and born at. It was people, man, that had fake documents, man. Showed me. I done been in the joint. I done went to joints, man, where I got to the joint and they came and they showed me their literature, what they've been teaching the brothers in that joint. And I looked at it, I said, man, this is not the literature. That's not they had some places they had 18 laws. I said, where that come from? That was never a part of the that's not the man. They've been teaching the brothers that all through the fig. I'm talking about young guys coming in and man, yeah, we got 18 laws. I know the 18. I said the 18, what is that? I know they had numbers feet, 1952, all
15, 32, 44, 45, things like they playing a football game. Like, what are you talking about?
so
You know what I'm saying?
it wasn't just, Alabama, or it was right around this area, man. It was people that had false documents spreading around, going around. You'll go into some county jail somewhere. They sent me to a jail in Kankakee while I went to the feds. I got in there, man, and some dudes was in there, man. They had some paperwork talking about some all kind of such and such. Is this the one of the leaders, and this is one of the things he wrote down. They had it written out in writing in ink,
And they was learning it.
and they was learning. They always learning the same document. I had to come and say, hey, man, that's not it, man. That ain't true, man. Throw that away, man. That's garbage. And to some of them, they looked at me like, man, what did you talk about, man? No, man. They were standing on that is the truth. You know what I'm saying? So it took me a moment to even get to the point where they know to explain to them, man, that this is not that. This is not the organization. This is not our organization. This is not our teaching. This is some false stuff somebody wrote down on their own and gave that to y'all. So it wasn't that they weren't real. It was not their fault. I didn't fault them for it or looked at them differently. I thought that they had love for the organization. They wanted to know and they wanted to learn. They wanted to embrace the teachings, but they was getting the wrong stuff. And so I had to come back around and give them, I had to reach to the street, get somebody to send this stuff to me. I said, man, this is the real right here. This is the real truth right here. This is our list. That's not it. So I don't fault you or anyone there from what they have been told. I don't think I could say they ain't real because they was no, that ain't how I look at it. That ain't
Watch
how
this
Right.
here.
I know.
Watch this here, and I'm gonna let you go, Blaylin. When me
Mm-hmm.
and Tank was in the feds together, right? We had some of the guys that was around us that was thoroughbred, love the organization, right? But they didn't know nothing, so we had to teach them. Tank, am I lying, Tank?
Yeah,
We had to teach them, man, from the very beginning, the essence on what we were about, man.
break it all the way down.
Break it all the way down. We had to, man. This was in Minnesota when me and Tank was in Minnesota with each other. And just imagine, I was doing this in every joint that I went to in the feds. So it ain't just the brothers in the South. It was, and we was in the North. We was in Minnesota, where wasn't nothing but Chicago guys and Milwaukee and all these people. They didn't know nothing. We had
Nothing.
to teach them.
These guys been GDs for 20 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
didn't know nothing.
Didn't know nothing, man. So think
Yeah.
that it was just somewhere where you was at. This was going on everywhere, man. And we seen it as a problem. And as
Yeah.
we started coming to understand, man, that our teachers, man, wasn't getting taught. It had stopped being taught, and misinformation was going out to a lot of places, to a lot of individuals, man. A lot of young guys coming in, man, know nothing about. All they were saying, we GD, we GD, we GD. That's all they know. They was GDs, and that this is what they know. They knew nothing, man. They did not
Right.
understand this at all. So them guys, some of them guys was in functions. Some of them
Yeah.
guys was on
Yeah.
staff.
Yeah, yeah. And just
Know
think about this here, Bladen.
Yeah.
You know, honestly speaking, man, me, Tank, and D Mac and Cash, he had to leave. All of us, bruh, we've been teaching since I basically our
Hmm.
inception, man. We have been teaching.
Exactly.
And let me explain this. Where we at right now today, me, you, Tank, D Mac, this idea started in Sandstone, Minnesota. Positive
Hmm.
lifestyle management started in Sandstone, Minnesota, man, with me and Tank walking around the yard talking about how we was gonna reach the brothers and sisters once we come home. This way this idea started at.
Hmm.
So us sitting here right now came from there. So that means that we knew we had a lot of work to do based on what we were seeing coming in. And every time I call on Tank and D Mac, they are always there, man. They always there to give their portion of understanding. You know, and I want to
You
thank them,
are
brother.
in a great position. Yeah, Blaylin, you in a great position because you are in contact with, I know, is one of the top people far as with this organization, and that's Brother Fee. He's in tune with the old and the new. So he's getting directives from all over. He is not going to tell you anything wrong. And whatever he says and tell you how it's supposed to be, you could take that and teach the guys where you at or the South and say, this is the real. You know what I'm saying? This is the real. Because I know. And I'm saying that with Fee because Fee is in contact with them. I'm not in contact with you. So Fee is in contact with you on a daily. So I know for a fact who he plugged with, and he's plugged with the organization from the top to the bottom, from the originals to the new generation. He is plugged like that. So he is not you in a great position. So what is said from to you to him or from him to you is legit. So I understand all the stuff that you have been taught through your years and everything like that. Whatever Fee telling you, that's what it really is. You know what I'm saying? Because I know for a fact he's not gonna tell you nothing that he hasn't researched on or asked people that was there from the beginning. And if y'all understand that with his conversation he said today, he talked to three members that was original board members when in the sections of growth and development. So they telling him exactly what it was, who was this, what area that they was coming from, what the concept was, and everything. So whatever he's telling you is legit, and he's in tune with the new generation. I know that because I'm in tune with the generation and the old generation. So I know that he's not gonna tell you. You're in a great predicament, a great predicament, and all you got to do is just spread, give the knowledge that you're obtaining from fee, and obtain it to the people that you know in the South. Because if you get through one person, you done did your job.
Yep.
So, you ain't got to do no mass people. If you get to do one person, you can do your job. That one person might could spread it to thousands of people or hundreds of people. You know what I'm saying? So you're in a great predicament, man. So I don't want you to feel like everything that you was taught was a burden, because it wasn't. It's just that you was taught and y'all was going on something else that really wasn't the correct thing. So it ain't like Tank said, like I said before, it don't make you real or fake. It makes you a part. If you love this organization like you love it, we're not saying that you're not real or that you're not real or that you're fake. Yeah.
TP. Now
So you're
this
in a great
brings me
position,
back,
man.
and this brings me back to what I wanted to ask earlier, D Mac, when you said you wanted to be on security, which means, from my
Mhm.
understanding, you had a function that you wanted to do yourself, but
Mhm.
the guys said that they wanted you in a whole different function. And
Yeah. Yeah.
when you refuse to comply to what the organizational request was of you, they were like, "Okay, you eradicated. Then ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it."
Right. We don't need
Okay,
you no more.
so I want to make sure I'm understanding that concept, right? Because that sounds like OS to me. So what that means, what I'm gathering from it is, if you're not willing to plug in and function as the organization needs you to function, then you're not part of the organization. So go ahead and step off your six, lay your rakes down, whatever you want to call it. Just don't call this.
Hey, I got that same story.
Exactly. That's
The
exactly.
same person, the
That's
same
exactly
person,
what it
sundown.
means.
Yes.
Right.
The same
That's
persons
exactly
that
what
he
it
talking
means.
about, the original sundown, the IC at the time name was Trey. Trey was trying to get me to be
Mhm.
the assistant ILC. All I was the ULC, but I was handling a lot of stuff throughout the joint. I would not take the function. I kept denying Trey. I kept
Mhm.
denying him and kept denying him. He came down to my cell one day. I stayed in 616 in the East House. Me and Sly was selling. He pulled up to the cell and he said, "Hey, Fee," he said, "big folks say, if you don't step up and be the assistant ILC, pack your shit." I'm using these words. Pack your shit and go to PC. You know what I said?
With
I
that,
say, tell
Hey,
big folks, man.
for
I
real.
say, tell big folks then that I'm the assistant ILC. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna go no PC for
Right.
what? Cause I won't take a function?
Right.
Hell no.
Right.
That's what he said. Tell him to go to PC.
Right.
And that's a true story.
Right. Exactly.
so
Yeah.
that goes back to the individual
Them
being
stories,
subordinate to the
man.
organization.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. And to not do that would be disrupting the unity of the organization, because
This
whatever you're being asked to do is necessary to reach the goals and objectives that's been laid before us.
everyone must do their share.
Yeah.
Everybody has a responsibility. For we make up the organization
Do
as
they part.
individuals who have come together as a
Mhm.
collective.
Mhm.
We had to do our share, and they made sure we
Mhm.
did our share. So that's
You
why,
can't just sit around.
let's think
Man.
about Tank. Tank had like 5 different functions at one time.
Yeah.
Tank used to be up at
Mhm.
3, 4 o'clock in the morning on Fridays doing reports on different staffs. Am I lying, Tank?
Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
Mhm.
And guess what? And guess what, man? All the all the functions are interrelated. That's how you learn about other functions.
Mhm.
On how you're on the legal staff, you start learning about what the IC,
What their jobs are.
what they job, the titles is,
Mhm.
staff. You start learning more and more about it. And at the same time, man, back then, as it was set up, If you on them functions, man, you gonna be rewarded.
Yep.
You're gonna be rewarded. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they need you in that function because they see that you qualified to do it, and they looking at
Yeah.
around that we got to have somebody in that
Hmm.
function. We got to have somebody do that job.
Yeah.
Anybody can't do it. No, everybody's not qualified to step up and do that, man. They see somebody can see who that
No.
person is. That's the person I need for that job. That dude there, we know is qualified
Hmm.
to do it. So I mean, it's like a not a choice. It's like, hey man, you got to do this here, man, because you're the only one qualified to do this here. We can't depend on nobody else right now. We need to put you in there. Can't just put anybody in there.
Words. The thing is, it's getting us
Hmm.
back on track for us to be able to really be about the organization.
Yeah.
That's
Hmm.
our whole objective, growth and development. And when we was talking about BGD, you talking about coming out of a mindset. See, people was talking about,
Hmm.
man, I lost my family members. I did this. I did that. I put in all this work for BGD and such and such and such. Such. What they was bringing us out of was a thought process, a mind condition.
Yeah.
Our mind was conditioned on
Right.
gang banging. They was getting us
Wow.
away from that. Because if you look at our heritage, you can't change our
Hmm.
past. Our heritage is Black Gangster Disciples. That's what we
No.
come up out of. We
Right.
can't
We
change
gangster.
that. Right.
Yeah, we gangster.
But we got to come up out of that
Hmm.
mindset. That's the mindset that they was bringing us up out of.
Yeah, I just D Mac. I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed talking to these guys. I enjoyed giving the information of what I know. It's just my experiences and experiences that was taught to me. I believe that we need to give the public the the history of what we about, the current and the future, because it's all about the future too. So we want to give that out. And I think that everybody that actually know what's going on, I think we should all step up, even if it's just to give knowledge to the next generation or whatever. Because I'm in my 50s. Most of us is in our 50s anyway. So it's like we got to pass this knowledge on to everybody else. And with that saying, I'm here to give the knowledge. I'm assistant to anybody that want it, and I'm here to give the history and the concept of organization to everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Yeah, I just want to say, yeah, this is a great show, great format. I think if people pay attention to one key thing, man, that we got to keep learning, we got to keep educating. If we don't do nothing else, teach the younger brothers about our history and our heritage or where we came from, and then we'll know exactly where we're going. Just keep educating. We could find solutions. We do a part two. We can work on some solutions if it's minor or small steps, increments. Then we have to do that. We need to do those things that gonna make some type of impact. I have love for that brother Fifi. Keep doing what you're doing, and the rest of you brothers on this panel. We'll keep moving forward, and I'm gonna keep moving forward. Uh, I'm at the age now where I'm still optimistic about our organization. I may be they looked at crazy. Some people say, "Oh man, it's over. We can't do this." It's things that we can do, we must do, and we must continue to do. I've been in this for life, and that's how it's gonna be. And we're gonna find ways to make an impact. So I leave y'all as I came. Love.
Plenty much love. I want to say first and foremost, thank you for the opportunity to be present in this. And I want to say it's an honor and a privilege to be amongst the willing and the righteous. And I'm humbled to be able to be a torchbearer in this time to carry the information from one stage to the next, from one degree to the next, to show and prove that growth and development is a righteous thing. And with that, I want to say plenty much love to all those who are willing to learn. And I want to thank all those that are righteous enough to teach. Love.
First of all, I want to thank our distinguished panel, the brother Cash, D-Mac, Tank, and Blayland, man. Thank you, brothers, man, for coming on, man, sharing your portion of understanding. I want to thank all those who came before us, man. All the originals who made the sacrifices that they made. I want to thank the generation today, man, who's continued to make those sacrifices, man, and who's standing in this and standing on righteousness, man. Uh, I want to thank, man, just all the brothers and sisters, man, throughout, man, who are striving to know the truth and to be the truth. And with that being said, man, I'm gonna end by saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Peace.